everyone, this is Taiki. Today I want to talk about Martin Freeman quitting vegetarianism after more than 2 decades. A British famous actor, Martin Freeman, stopped being a vegetarian after 20 years. Although he claimed that he was actually a pescatarian, it was a really shocking news for vegans and vegetarians, especially those in the UK. During the podcast featuring him, one of the people on the table asks Martin Freeman whether he was vegetarian for an ethical reason.
I started being a vegetarian in like January 1986.
Wow.
So,
For ethical reasons?
But being just a vegetarian isn't ethical enough. If you consume dairy or eggs, cows are forcibly impregnated, and eggs, they put the male chicks into macerators and rip them into pieces. So being vegetarian is still cruel. It's not ethical enough, but I understand that a lot of people say vegetarianism is an ethical choice because at least you don't eat meat, meaning those animals who are killed for meat directly will be spared. And he responds to that question by saying,
I was never really, I was never comfortable with the idea of eating animals.
I don't feel comfortable about the idea of eating animals. They're practically us. They're practically same as eating human flesh because we are animals. But I wonder why he stopped being uncomfortable eating meat. And he talks about processed food.
So I like meat replacement things, but my reservation about them is that they can be very processed.
Yes, vegan alternatives, processed food. But so is meat, and so is lots of animal products.
You know the other thing? A pork pie with
Yeah.
the jelly and all that.
Pork pies are really processed. So I expected him to be unlogical. Because everyone who quits vegan or vegetarian, they usually have excuses that are irrational to justify their actions.
There's sometimes a bit of a snobbery about
Yeah.
veggie stuff.
Yeah,
isn't there?
of course,
And there's
yeah.
sometimes a bit of unnecessary hostility
Exactly,
towards
yes.
being vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yes, hostility against vegans and vegetarians also is great in most cases. So I think he just became uncomfortable being vegetarian, and that might have exceeded his at least a bit moral stance of refraining from eating meat.
So vegetarian food is and can be fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
genuinely fantastic.
Yeah.
Right there, he actually says vegetarian foods can be wonderful, but I highly doubt that he got tired of eating vegetarian food, but he couldn't stand the hostility, just like he mentioned before, against vegetarians. So the social comfortness has its play in this incident. Now, I don't want to sound too harsh against Martin Freeman. It's not because I am a huge fan of Sherlock. You see the Sherlock posters, and this is actually Martin Freeman. As a Japanese person, being vegetarian for 20 years is like so much contribution to reducing the animal suffering. My view might be different from lots of vegans out there, but being vegetarian, being pescatarian even, is like rare in Japan. And I'm just so grateful that he actually was a veggie for long years. I'm not saying you can stay vegetarian and call yourself ethical enough. Going vegan is the most ethical choice, and refraining from all these animal products and cosmetics that are tested on animals and so on. But if you look at people who are pescatarian, who practice meat-free Monday, their effort is still better than just eating everything. You might think, oh, if you're ethical enough, if you actually care about animals, you will quit all the animal products instantly. But my journey was different. I was pescatarian for 6 months before going vegan. So for me, even if you just cut down fish, or just meat, not animal products entirely, it's still better than nothing. So it's better to be appreciative of the effort. If you see a pescatarian, I wouldn't go up to them and say, oh, you all contribute to animal cruelty. Look at this fish. Fish are actually animals. And there's a thing called trolling, bycatch, killing the sea marines, animals, millions of them. So you shouldn't eat fish. I wouldn't go up to them and say that. Not from the beginning. I want to try first, be appreciative that the person is cutting down meat. Because at least in Japan, for example, it's not easy. So if you're living in a more vegan-friendly country, your opinion might be different. If you're from the UK, I've been to the UK last year. It was so easy to go vegan. So I was really surprised when people weren't vegan. I was like, it's so easy. You have like lots of ice cream choices. You even have lasagna. You even have pizza. We don't have that in Japan. And I also didn't have a good experience of persuading people to go vegan when I was like, you're contributing to animal cruelty. It was actually making them want less go vegan. So I think the best method is to praise, is to look for the good things, in people, and then praise them, make them comfortable with their choice now, and then inform the further information. That way, they're gonna listen more and they become less hostile. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. It was a short video, but I wanted to talk about Martin Freeman because he is my favorite actor, and to be honest, I am a bit disappointed he became omnivorous again, but I still like him as an actor, and I still appreciate that he cut down meat for more than 2 decades before. And you should look for positive things in people too. See you in the next one. Until next time.